What's up, Den Dogs? Welcome back to another pre-game lineup video here brought to you by the Jackal Den. I know it's a bit later than I typically do these videos, but unfortunately we were unable to get the lineup until this morning solidified by the Dallas Jackals. We are welcoming the San Diego Legion to town. I'm very excited about this. Before we even get started, let's go ahead and start with the big announcement. Lot E, 5 o'clock before the game. We've got a 6:05 first pitch for the Rangers next door. So get your butts out to Lot E. Bring your beers, bring your food, bring your grill. Tailgate action, man. We've always had a good time at these. These have always gone over really, really well. Rick Collins and I had the great fortune of traveling to Space City this weekend, and they do it big down there in Houston. We definitely need to kind of step our game up here in Dallas. But I know with time, we will get just as awesome, if not better, because this is North Texas and this is how we do things here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these lineups as we welcome the first place at 7-1. San Diego Legion here to Choctaw Stadium. They are coached by former All Black Danny Lee. A weather report's looking like cloudy and 17 degrees Celsius, 63 for you American guys that don't use the Celsius. Their one loss coming back in round 3 against a team we faced last weekend in the Sabercats. And it's we faced them back in March 12th, where they blanked us. Our only shutout of the year, 22-0. They're at Snapdragon Stadium there in San Diego. So definitely looking to hopefully, change our fortunes this weekend. But we'll go ahead and start out. Quite a few omissions from this lineup. Try of the week winner Ma'anonu did not even make the trip this week. 40 years old. Bit disappointed, but I can kind of get it. It's probably the most running he'd done in years. Whenever he had that try last week, and kind of a bit shocking. Nate Augsburger will be coming in relief. We'll get to that when we get to the run-ons, but let's go ahead and get started with the starting lineup for the Legion of San Diego. Front row consists of Canadian international Justice Sears Duru, Irish U20s player Sean McNulty there at hooker, and USA Eagle Chris Bauman, the other prop. Yale Railala is a Fijian-born player, will be the first lock, and former All Black Isaac Ross will be the other lock. The flankers will consist of Tom Franklin. He is a former Māori All Black as well as Highlander, and captaining this side with the absence of Ma'anonu will be former Highlander and Māori All Black and Blue, Dan Pryor. I just realized his brother is also playing here in the U.S. I believe he's playing for D.C. or New England. Kara is his brother. Tavita Tamalilu, he is a USA Eagle. He will be the starting number 8 for the San Diego Legion. Canadian international Irish-born Jason Higgins will be the starting scrum half, and at first 5/8 fly half will be USA Eagle Will Holy. The wingers for this game are going to be Thomas Aoki and Thomas Morani. The centers are going to be South African-born Tian Lutz and Philomora Kinabeti. Sorry if I butchered that for any of my Fijian friends. And rounding it all out, the big boy himself, USA Eagle Mikey Teo, will be at fullback. It is a 5-3 split coming off the bench for Danny Lee, with Sama Malolo, Fakaosi Pifaletti, he is a USA Eagle, and Nathan Sylvia being the front row replacements. Chris Teruri and Finn Kearns will be the other flanker replacements. Deadly Nate Augsburger will be the scrum half replacement with Luke Burton and Mateus Frere, who is a former, he was an Argentinian-born or USA-born Argentine player. Now we get over to the 23-man squad named for your Dallas Jackals. Front row will consist of Canadian international Liam Murray. We were a bit worried about him. He came out early last week in Houston with a bit of a head knock. Looks like that was something that he was able to get over fairly quickly, with Thomas Barvale and Pablo Saiz making up the front row. No more playing around. We've moved Sam Gola back into the lock position. He has been absolute money this year. Hopefully, future USA Eagle, former All-American there for Cal Rugby, and his partner in crime, Lucas Burr, will be the locking combo. Captaining at number 6, the flanker Geronimo Gomez Vara. Had a nice little conversation with his dad this week on Instagram. Really nice people, really nice dad. And El Bigote himself, Conrado Aurora, will be the other starting flanker. Namibian international and also having not too bad of a year himself, Adrian Boyson will be starting at number 8. Veteran Pedro Imhoff will get the start once again at scrum half with Ticho Elias, the starting fly half. And a move I haven't seen, maybe he played it a bit last year, but I never knew. But I've always seen him as a center or a fullback. But we will get Soups himself, Campbell Johnstone, at left wing. His opposite will be Moroni at number 14. JP Aguirre and Milanos will be, once again, our centering combo with Ale Torres and his amazing boot. I thought he did a hell of a job at fullback, so that will be good to have him at fullback. He's going to have his hands full because Mikey Teo is a proper fullback in the sport. The front row replacements will consist of, from the Boogie Down Bronx, the man himself. I call him Slim Tucci, or he's called Slim Tucci online. I call him Drip. But Alex Tucci will come in on relief off the bench. We already know what kind of explosiveness he can bring. We saw it last year. I mean, that guy, he goes crazy off the bench. He just looks like he's ready to kill when he comes off the bench. South African-born Canadian U20 player Dewey Kutsia. I think he's representing Edmonton in Canada. And Canadian international and another guy that has shocked me all year, Kyle Steeves, will be the other front row replacement. Still no sign of Connor Robinson, another guy that I think definitely has USA Eagle written all over him. Hopefully we can see him again in the coming weeks. Scottish-born USA qualified Matt Gordon will be our lock replacement, and Cam Nelson out of West Virginia, University of West Virginia, the Mountaineers, will be the other flanker replacement. As always, at number 21 jersey, Danny Christensen, Salt Lake City, Utah's own man with the magical hair and mustache, will be the scrum half replacement, with the Usos going from the pitch to the bench with Luis Atama and James Fale in 22 and 23, respectively. So, on paper, you could say this is San Diego's B squad. But that's really not. They're 7-1 for a reason. They've had a really hell of a good season. And honestly, at the beginning of the year, I knew it was going to be Houston and Seattle right up there at the top. And I could have put Utah, who's gotten on fire in recent weeks, or San Diego. It is San Diego at the top of the standings. They are playing good, proper. Will Holley is an amazing fly half. They've got really good players at all position. I mean, Dan Pryor, who's captaining the side. I think he might have cut his hair finally, but he used to have long hair. But he's an island boy, man. I mean, he's got the acoustic guitar, and he's just kind of basically like Danny Christensen. I'm pretty sure they probably have a lot of the same stuff on their playlists on Spotify if they both have Spotify. But this is a team that can beat you. They are 7-1 for a reason. Now, do I think this is going to be another 22-0? No, I don't see it at all. This team has grown leaps and bounds. Now, honestly, obviously, we're only with the one win on the season so far, but we've had a couple of wins where they beat us barely. The Houston game was well in hand until like the last 20 minutes of the game, and it just kind of fell apart for us. It was tied at halftime, and this is the SaberCats. This is one of the best teams in the league. We were tied at halftime with them. Did they have their strongest side out there? I think for what they had, Harry Labuskakne, who I actually had a moment to talk to, he was injured. Congratulations to Honko Hermesize. His wedding was this last week. I think he got married in Arizona. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But, do we have a chance here? Of course we have a chance. We have a chance every week. This isn't last year. We're not getting put down 75 to 5 by teams anymore. That just doesn't happen. We've got a solid enough forward pack. If we can make this a game about set pieces and scrums, if we can dominate on those things, we have a serious chance here. I've really started to kind of buy into Ticho Elias at fly half because he has proven himself. Is he the most reliable kicker? Is he Davy Kutzer? No, nobody is. That's why Davy Kutzer is the leading scorer in the league. But he is getting a lot more reliable with the boot. I do think Ali Torres does do well at fullback because he does have a boot as well, and he has the ability to run and make tackles. I mean, he was bleeding last week in the game. Like I said, if we can make it a game about set pieces, scrums, we can beat these guys. This isn't going to be a thrashing. I think those days are kind of behind us for the most part. They might still come around here and there, but they are for the most part behind us. With that being said, do we have a chance to win today? Yes, we do. We have a chance to win every game now. But we're really going to have to stick to our game plan and, really try to grind these guys down in the forwards because they do have very capable forward pack just like we do. And if we can make it about the forwards and the lineouts and just drive the ball in and do what we do best, we're not a wide scoring team. We get down, we run 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 phases at the try line, and we bust it through, usually with Gomez Vara or one of our front row guys busting it through. And if we can stick to that, of course we have a chance. I will see you guys all out at the stadium here. Those of you who are local and in attendance, those of you who will be watching online through the Rugby Network app. Hopefully one day you can make it down to Choctaw for a game this year. But that's all I have to say for this video. We'll do a post-game video later this week. Hopefully I will be able to join in with Rick the Jackal King Collins. Until next time, this is the Jackal Den YouTube made by the fans for the fans. Cheers, guys.